How about you start from the beginning, right? What brought you to H1? How did you hear about H1 initially? What types of challenges were you facing at CTI? Anything you want to kind of expand upon around that?
So one of the main reason that we were that drew us to H1 was we were conducting an assessment of the ecosystem of data providers, specifically those who could offer a self-service solution to accessing real-world data. And so as part of this process, which we initiated, I'd probably say in 2023 at this point, we were looking at all kinds of different solutions, and we came across H1 as a company that I initially didn't know much about. There's a list of companies that have a long-standing history in real-world data access and interrogation, and then we were intrigued to learn more about H1 once we saw a couple demonstrations of their platform and understood better the not only the types of data that they access, but their trajectory in increasing the types of data that are accessible to them, as well as the way they fit together within their system.
I know you mentioned real-world data as kind of a big overarching use case that you were looking to solve for. Fast forward to today, it's been a year or so. How have you found yourself using H1 most now?
So I think one of the things that I've been pleasantly surprised with is the ability for H1 to help us with integrating real-world data and clinical trial information that's available through different places on the internet. Unfortunately, the information about clinical trials, about investigator sites, does not sit in one place. Yeah, and the ability to have more of these different sorts of assets integrated into a single location is very beneficial for us, especially being a smaller organization that doesn't have large numbers of resources to support the thorough data analytics. So I think for us, we're really using H1 in a couple different avenues. One, of course, is probably what I would call the basic use cases for real-world data used in trial planning. This can be building queries based on ICD-10 codes, procedure codes, other types of diagnostic and prescription data, and using that to identify where potential trial participants exist, predominantly in the U.S., but also in other countries, which we know is an emerging space. Another use case that we see is helping this to support advanced site identification. So occasionally we find ourselves in situations where we need to expand the site pool or go into geographies where we're looking for a very specific combination of patient attributes in order to make sure that we're finding the best investigators and those who are more likely to see the patient of interest. The last use case is involving real-world data is really more around profiling the patients and the investigators themselves. So part of trial planning is really understanding the patient journey and understanding what the site care and treatment pathway is for these patients. So using H1, we're able to better understand what kinds of prescriptions are these patients taking, who's seeing them, who's involved in the management of these patients, and in some cases, what kinds of more complicated referral pathways can we uncover that might be useful for coming up with creative ways to to select sites and then manage a clinical trial.